everybody doing today? I'm Robert Hubbard. I was in the Army for a while. Went to Iraq and Afghanistan. Today, who does not know about Flint, Michigan, and what's going on over there? So everybody knows? Yeah. All right, somebody tell me what's going on? They're killing people.
They got lead in their water. They got lead in the water. Having a large water crisis.
They switched the water supply.
The government switched the water supplies, and I was like, what they doing?
Yeah, for like the past year and some change now. So I made a slide. Go back. I made a slide. It's called "How We Can Bring Families of Flint, Michigan, Crystal Clear Water Without Destroying the World." Because right now everyone's just sending millions of plastic bottles of water, and it's just no good. So next slide is going to be the video. If you can pull the video up, the first video, and then hit the lights, please.
Would you drink that? People have dumped in this river forever. It's like we're in a cesspool.
My tub, you should see it, it's brown.
And then come the headlines. An American city failed to provide basic protections to its citizens, and now the children of Flint have much higher than normal levels of lead in their blood. Rick Snyder, governor of Michigan, has apologized.
I'm sorry, and I will fix it.
President Obama declared a national emergency.
You can't shortchange basic services that we provide to our people.
And now 2016 presidential candidates are starting to weigh in.
The governor of that state acted as though he didn't really care.
Lead poisoning is terrible and terrifying. No amount of exposure is safe. And there's evidence that years after we got it out of paint, gas, and more, it contributed to a drastic drop in crime in the 90s. The city has switched back to cleaner water, but the effects will last decades. We take clean water for granted. How could this possibly happen in 2016? Well, you've got to rewind to 2011. Flint was broke. It had lost about half its population after the car factories closed. It had $1.1 billion in unfunded pension costs. It had to cut half its police force. Michigan had a solution called emergency managers.
Now he's been appointed by the governor to turn around Flint's finances. Mike, welcome.
These managers can make cost-cutting measures without the normal political procedure.
I think what we have to do is look at the expense side first. There could be services that we can no longer provide in the city.
And they decided the city could save money on water. Flint would stop buying water from Detroit and join a new regional water system. And as a temporary measure, Flint would use water from the Flint River. The switch happened in 2014.
Here's the Flint.
And who decided to do this exactly is under intense debate. But regardless of blame, the story gets worse. Residents saw and tasted the dirty water and started complaining.
Water's brown, has a bad odor. I'm afraid to even feed it to my cat or my dogs.
We should not have to pay for the water. It's nasty.
But the city claimed federal tests showed the water was safe. An employee at the Environmental Protection Agency leaked a Michigan report to a local activist, which showed the water had higher than normal lead levels. The city's response? Flint told the woman the lead came from her plumbing. It took an outside investigation by Virginia Tech researchers that found elevated lead levels in the water for the state to admit there was a problem in September 2015.
So the corrosion's eating up the pipes, it's eating up the iron pipes, it's causing main breaks, it's causing discolored water, and about 20% of the homes there's just too much lead.
In October 2015, the government bought water filters for its citizens and switched back to water from Detroit. Before all this, 2.1% of the city's children had high blood lead levels. After, it was 4%. For kids under 5 in the most affected zip codes, it was 6.3%. Why did Flint poison its citizenry? Under emergency managers from the state, it wanted to save money. To start to reverse the effects will cost dearly. Just switching back to Detroit's water cost $12 million. A class action lawsuit against the city is pending.
So what did you guys think about that? Did you guys know about all that?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I didn't know about the reason. So anyways, the next slide. Well, yeah, that's fine. All right, so this slide, you can expand it. There you go. This slide was, this poster was released by, I can't even read it right now, Michigan Department of Health and something.
Human Services probably.
So once they switched to the lead water in the river, they posted this for everybody. They said that it's okay to bathe your children in the bath water. Anybody, you know what I mean? So this is what they told everybody in Flint, that it was safe to do this. So once they let their kids into the bath water, the next slide will show you exactly what happens.
Oh my God.
Well, I don't know, lights, so you can actually see this.
Can you see it? I'm sorry, yeah.
So this is what happens when you bathe in lead.
Jesus.
Just terrible skin reaction. Go ahead to the next one. Same kid.
What a cute little boy.
So the government's telling everybody it's okay to bathe, and this is what happens. So next slide, please. Okay, so I have a Flint, Michigan campaign that I'm taking a road trip to Flint myself personally to help out in any way possible. This is just an overview of the mission. I am going to be giving my campaign supporters, a reasonable time of updates around 24 hours. I'm going to take the road trip personally with a few people. One of them is E, the camera guy right now. We are going to, on top of bringing them a filter system called Roving Blue, we're also going to provide them with some fresh bottles of water from Sam's Club and some baby wipes from Bambuza. I don't know if you guys ever heard of those guys, but they're pretty good. We'll explain that in the next couple slides. And the main reason for this mission is to provide an alternative to shipping millions of plastic bottles of water in cans to Flint. They don't have a plane over there for all these bottles. So next slide, please. All right, so mission continued. I'm going to be going over there providing families with a Roving Blue system, which I'll explain here in a second. It's going to cut costs, eliminate plastic waste, and save the environment a little bit. I'm going to personally donate as many units as we make money for to families. I'm going to train them on it and pretty much give them confidence to use the system while I'm not there. I'm not an official nonprofit yet. I'm using this campaign to pretty much show my nonprofit to the world. So I'm working on it. And the campaign also will never stop until Flint's okay. Next slide. Introducing Roving Blue to Michigan, Flint, Michigan. As you can see by the picture, it's pretty small and portable, weighs about 25 pounds. Quote, it says, the more you know, the less you have to carry. The less you know, the more you have to carry. So this is just gonna drastically drop the amount of plastic and water that we have to transport to Flint. Next slide, please. So why Roving Blue? It was accepted into SOCOM, military, you guys know, Special Forces, 2015. This year and next year is going to be participating in the United States Army training at Fort Benning, I believe. Made in the U.S., so all the parts except for like maybe one or two is from the U.S. Reduces plastic, lightweight. It can produce 0.5 liters of water per minute. So altogether with one filter set, you're looking at 1,200 gallons. 1,200 gallons is going to come out to be about 8,000 to 9,000 bottles of water with one filter set. It's got a 5-stage filter system. What makes it so unique to compare to all the other filter systems is it uses ozone oxidization. Does anybody know what ozone is? No. The ozone layer around the world. What it does is protect us from radiation from the sun, and it is produced by lightning or electromagnetic pulses. Pretty much, when it hits oxygen, it makes ozone, and that's what after like a thunderstorm and stuff, it smells really clean and the air is real nice and clean. That's ozone. So what makes it so unique is ozone can't be transported because it breaks down too fast. So this is going to bring ozone to Flint without transporting it in a way. It makes it while it's filtering it. You know what I mean? So once ozone hits the water, everything in it is completely eliminated. It's sterile. You can clean with this water after it gets filtered. Let's see, no waste, no chemicals. All the parts are certified. You can hook it up into a car to charge it. It runs off of a battery. And the filters last long, like 1,200 gallons, like I said. Next slide, please. Okay, so it's been tested. It's new to the market. So they don't have a lot of funding for marketing purposes. That's why I'm being their workforce right now. I volunteered to do this. They're not paying me to do this. They reached out to me. So pretty much they can turn any kind of fresh water source into drinkable, pure water, even the sewer. You can even imagine it. Putting this hose into the sewer, getting fresh water out of it, and being able to drink it. I mean, this is not what we're doing in Flint. We're not going to hook it up to their toilet and get them water. This is going to use the Flint out of their faucet, or the water out of their faucet, and turn it into pure water. If they can do it to the sewer, then of course it's going to be able to do it to Flint's water. All right. So recently, on social media, Pearl Jam donated $300,000 to Flint efforts. So with their $300,000, they donated it to the United Way of Genesee County. Donations went to filters, bottled water, emergency support services, and prevention efforts. The problem: which filters and how many bottles did they get? We don't know. They just said we gave them $300,000 and that was it. So if I had $300,000 for Roving Blue for Flint, I would be able to provide 75 plus families with steady 100% clean water. That is $300,000. The one unit is looking at $3,600. But the more we buy, the cheaper the price is going to drop. You know what I mean? So right now, with one unit, $3,600 divided into $300,000 is 75 plus. So you're looking at, with those 75 plus families, we would be able to provide them combined over 90,000 gallons of water. So 90,000 times, there's around 7.5 bottles. There's around 7.5 bottles of water in a gallon. So times 90,000 by 7.5, and that's how many bottles we'll be able to give those families without actually using bottles. All right. So this will make Flint families independent. They won't have to worry about showing ID to get water, because recently they started denying people water if they didn't have IDs. It's like big, like the military, government, big organizations, they're not allowing people to get water. I don't know exactly why.
You don't have an ID for that area or something? For like
they have to have an ID, yeah. There's little organizations that are over there that are giving people water without ID, but how, you know what I mean? How many of those are actually over there?
Have that much to give, you know?
But there's videos on YouTube floating around, immigrants, people that just don't have IDs are getting denied water. They don't have water. So no need, this will make it so there's no need for transportation of water or the use of plastic or cans. Without Roving Blue, Flint will just continue to be an environmental disaster, basically. There's no plans right now for all the plastic and stuff that they're sending over there. So, I mean, I really couldn't imagine what it looks like. So that's why I'm trying to do this, to help it out a little bit. Like I said, there's no adequate measures and plans to clean up the plastic and stuff that's being shipped over there. Plastic, as far as we know, does not go away. There's already tons of it floating around on the ground and in the ocean, so why contribute more? And next slide. Flint families will continue to be a slave to help without Roving Blue.
That's true.
What I mean by that is, we got right here, bottles of water to school. This is a school. They're using bottles of water at schools because there's no water. So imagine how much plastic a day they have to use to provide for these kids. Not only to mention families at their home are using bottles of water to cook with, wash off, and all this other stuff. So schools are dependent. We got families that are dependent. These two guys are famous for walking 2 miles into the snow just to get water. They went public and people actually started helping them find a way to not have to walk 2 miles. But there are people that have to walk 2 miles in the snow just to get bottles of water. And imagine how many bottles of water that those two guys, they're old. They're not gonna be able to carry that much. So this, can you go to the videos? This is a video. This is a video of how plastic pollution enters our food supply.
This one?
Marcus Erickson is not really fishing. He is catching plastic in the Atlantic Ocean. Erickson wants to publicize the growing buildup of plastic waste in our oceans and to study its effects.
So these are 5 subtropical gyres in the world, so the majority of the plastic in the world accumulates.
The gyre is formed by ocean currents that couple with the spinning of the Earth's rotation. And what happens is that you have effectively a massive whirlpool, this large spinning current system where debris can accumulate.
Anna Cummins and her husband, Marcus Erickson, set up a not-for-profit group called the 5 Gyres Institute. It helps researchers with studies of plastic pollution in the oceans. Cummins says plastic bags and bottles have little or no value after they are used. Most plastic waste can be found in solid waste landfills or along rivers. A lot of this waste also washes out to sea.
This becomes a problem in the marine environment because plastics are designed to last forever. They don't break down, they can't be digested by marine organisms, and they persist in the ocean for thousands of years.
When sailing, Erickson and Cummins gather objects from the ocean surface. Hundreds of things they caught have gone to a California laboratory for testing.
What shocked me the most on all these trips is to cross an ocean, to cross for thousands and thousands of miles, and find that every single sample we pull up has plastic.
Some plastics stay in large pieces for a long time, but many break down into smaller particles.
The plastic out there, it's not a condensed island of trash. It's really spread out. That it's this plastic soup that is from continent to continent.
Animals mistakenly eat the smaller pieces of plastic or feed them to their young.
Roughly 43% of all marine mammals, 86% of all sea turtle species, and 44% of all seabird species have been found with plastics in or around their bodies. 35% of the samples of fish that we collected in the North Pacific had plastic in their stomachs.
5 Gyres Institute and its partners are now studying how plastics enter the ocean's food supply and their effects on human health.
I had a chance to do what's called a body burden analysis on my own blood. We looked into my blood serum to find, do I have these same chemicals that we know stick to plastic? And we found in my blood trace levels of PCBs, DDT, PFCs, and higher levels of flame retardants. We don't know how these chemicals entered my body. As a woman, I know that these chemicals in my body will pass on to the next generation.
Marcus Erickson and his partners used 15,000 empty plastic bottles to build a boat they called Junk Raft. In 2008, they sailed from California through the North Pacific Gyre.
The North Pacific Gyre, it's surprising if you go only 1,000 miles off the coast of California, which is 7,000 miles from Japan, you still get a lot of Japanese and Chinese plastic.
Erickson and Cummins say the seas of plastic waste will be with us for a long time, but they believe there are solutions.
The solutions, they don't begin on the ocean. They begin on land.
We also need to improve our recycling infrastructure. Here in this country, in the United States, we only recover and recycle roughly 5% of our plastics.
Reusing plastics is one way. The husband and wife team say they support the wider use of biodegradable materials. They want more products redesigned so they can be used again and again. And they believe that people around the world need to understand the problem of plastic waste and its effect on the environment and our health. I'm Shirley Griffith.
So you guys understand why I'm doing this now, right?
That's crazy.
There's a lot of plastic that's going to Flint right now. It's gonna damage our world a little bit. So I'm trying to minimize that. Here we have the budget. I made up a budget. You can see we got some donations already. Here is the prices for the unit. This is just for one unit. Like I said, if we buy more, the price will go down. I just wanted to make an example for everybody. We got bottles of water, the baby wipes, and all that. Next, please. Any questions? Like how to help me out?
Are you reaching out to other places to see if they will like help you, like, you know, help raise money to support what you're trying to do?
See, the thing right now is I'm not an official nonprofit, so a lot of big names are looking at me right now because I'm gonna be the first one in Flint with a Roving blue. So this could change the game substantially when I get there. The problem is I'm not official, so it's legal reasons that a lot of people won't be able to donate to me. So I'm looking for a lot more support on the out, like the lower people, not so much the big names, you know, because they can't give me money because of legal reasons.
Well, I was thinking more like some of the schools, maybe some churches, some.
Yeah, I'm in connection with a lot of people online through Twitter, Instagram, and all that. I have connections in Flint on the ground. I have connections with the company that I'm going to be sending their unit, or I'm going to be taking their unit to Flint. So they're helping me out. They said that they're going to have try to get some media coverage for me whenever I get there, because this could be huge. There's no plans right now in Flint to stop sending plastic bottles over there.
But I meant more like people who would donate money to help provide these.
Well, that's why I'm relying on everybody. That's why I'm in front of everybody, so you guys can spread the word and help me out a little bit. You know.
Because I know like maybe there are like some churches who would like raise money to kind of give one family a filter because you know they're not cheap yet. So.
That's why I'm depending on you guys to help me out a little bit. Any more questions?
No, I got a question.
What's up?
Can big business like buy the units and give them to the people?
Oh, of course, anybody can buy these units. Just go to the website. I'm gonna give you guys a list of the sources, bring them up, so you guys can take a picture of it, write it down.
Not to be smart ass, right? But don't you think this is a temporary solution for a long term?
Oh, of course, this is not.
Because if you give bottles of water to these families, yeah, you could feed them for a little bit, but how they take showers and do every daily.
That's what he's saying.
Exactly.
That's exactly what he's talking about, though.
This is not a long-term solution because the pipes, the mayor's email, it was already put out on social media that it's gonna take over 15 years to fix this.
I read it on my Yahoo.
So a lot of the family in Flint are in poverty. They can't afford to move away. They can't afford to get help like others are doing right now. A lot of people are just moving, but a lot of people can't move. So that's the people that I'm trying to target. That's the people that I want to help. Like you said, it's not a long term. This is a solution for the environmental effects that are happening right now in Flint. Along with, it's just going to help families out. In the end, to get a steady supply of water, not have to open 1 million bottles of water every day, dump them in a bowl, get a washcloth, stuff like that. This is going to be able to pump water out of the sink, make it sterile, so they can even clean with this water. It's going to be so clean they can clean with it, and so they can use this to wash off with, drink. They can share because this is gallons. We're not talking about bottles. We're talking about this gonna provide them gallons of water, you know what I mean? So did that kind of answer?
Yeah, yes.
I know you got
yes,
more.
You know, it's like I'm itching, man. It's like I understand what you're saying, but that water's it's gonna be gone.
What's
by
that?
the time you filter and give them those gallons of water, people are busy throughout their life and they need water. It's constant.
No. I'm going to bring these units to families and personally donate them to the families. So the family's going to have this in their house. They don't have to leave their house to get bottles of water. They don't have. Yeah.
I understand what it is, but so you get how many units are you getting?
Well, right now, since this is new to the market, this is brand new to the market.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows about this. So I'm bringing these to Flint to hopefully get some media coverage on it. That way we can buy more units. But right now, I'm only getting enough money for one because, I only have limited supply or support.
Very good. Thank you, Rob.